So I recently matched with one of the most handsome men I've ever seen in my entire life. Easily one of the most handsome men I've ever seen in my entire life. Only qualm I have
Okay.
is based on his career. I estimate that he probably makes anywhere from $65,000 to $70,000 a year. I make 4 to 5 times more than that. Do y'all think that relationships with that large of a pay gap can survive? Is that shallow for me to ask? Like, these are just the things that really are on my mind as I'm dating. And I specifically mean when it's the woman making significantly more, because I feel like it is normalized for the man to make more. But in terms of how I grew up, my mom made significantly more than my dad, and that does not come without issues. Okay.
Okay, so you're asking us if you should give this man a chance because you out earn him by 4 to 5 times more than he makes. What's interesting about that question is he earns above what the average man makes. And you also said that this is by far probably the most handsome man that you've ever stumbled on. So I'm seeing that, okay, there's immediate attraction. Here's the thing, man. Here's why women like Oprah Winfrey, as much as people can say what they want to about her, she understood the assignment. Ma'am, you have become the man. And I really am not trying to say this in any disrespectful way whatsoever. Listen, guys, I really am not. On TikTok, the women are calling him the soft man king, right? As in, he's been living the soft life for who knows how long. She understood something that, and here's the photo. Here's the photo. Oprah Winfrey understood something that a lot of you chicks who are high earners, who spent majority of your time focusing on your career, don't understand. You have outpriced yourself out of the dating market. And you're supposed to, right? The only thing that's left for you, you're not gonna get the guy who's making upwards of $200,000. Oprah Winfrey knew that she was not going to lock down the financially equivalent version of herself. A bitter truth, I know.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
And so what does she do? Well, she found this man. And he makes her happy. He sorts out a problem that she doesn't have to think about, and that is a lifelong partner. She is not married because she also realized that she did not want to be a wife. And I remember when I first heard that on the recent video that I actually covered in regarding her situation and relationship, I said, hey, more women need to come to this conclusion. They don't understand. I bet you this chick right here thinks that she qualifies for a man who is in her earning bracket or equivalent. Even a guy who's earning just a little bit less than you, he knows that he can get a woman who's probably more submissive, less picky, less difficult, less picky. Well, Chisha, how do you know she's picky? Now you're jumping to these assumptions. Hold on. This is also the chick who was featured in my last video that was titled 80 Women Fight Over 10 Men at Charlotte Singles Mixer event. Yes, she was one of the 80 women. She was disappointed. She showed up to this event. And a lot of people were disappointed that the men don't attend singles events. Here she is.
Alrighty, y'all, fit check. Headed to a speed dating event that I am not excited about. This is actually my worst nightmare. But here we are, trying new things in 2025 in the name of IRL dating and deleting the apps. So here we go. Oh, and here's the full fit. Cute, but like a little sexy. I don't know. Maybe too sexy. Who cares? Whatever. Bye.
As I'm driving here, I'm realizing I actually really don't want to do this. Really don't.
So she goes on the date, and if I remember correctly, she complains about one thing in particular, and I think it was that the men didn't match the height requirement. So not only do you have an income requirement, but on top of that, you also have a height requirement. I don't think she realizes how much of the odds are truly stacked against her. Again, you are Oprah Winfrey, right? Men who are in your position financially are typically looking for somebody who's not Oprah Winfrey. But of course, guys, what can we expect here in this type of a situation? Well, if we go to the comments, we're going to see a bunch of women here leading her and probably other women astray. For example, this commenter who says, men will resent you if they learn that you make more than them. They'll punish you for their shortcomings. I mean, all men? All men? I'm sure you could find a man out there who does not mind letting you take your role as the provider, if that's what you want to be. Would I suggest that a man go look for that type of dynamic? I would say in most cases, the unfortunate thing is that like hypergamy is a real thing. And while women think that they are usually the innocent ones in this type of dynamic, there are plenty of studies that prove time and time again that when a man earns more, he feels not just capable of taking care of himself, but also his family. Increased earning potential while that man is married means he has an opportunity to provide for his family. What does it show when women get advances in their career or get promoted to bosses? Well, it actually increases and encourages them to divorce. You can go look up these studies yourself. So what's the conclusion? The conclusion would be this would work, but the problem is it probably wouldn't work with you because you're asking. If you have to ask, then it probably wouldn't work. And you're like most modern women out here who really become their own worst enemy and can't suppress that hypergamy and will inevitably end up alone. Let's read more comments. Somebody else who says this, Andre 3000 said, don't do it, reconsider. Here's another person who says, all this projection from women in the comments needs to stop. So this is a man, I believe, if he's okay with what he makes and is generally confident and you're actually okay with what he makes and can work with that, then it's okay. Somebody else here added, come on, big money. Here's another person who says 4 to 5 times more. Girl, what do you do? And this person who says, right, forget the man. What do you do for a living? Here's another person who added, you're leaving out if you guys actually spoke, followed by if he was interested, LMAO. That's funny. This guy right here makes a good point. Chances are this dude may not actually be that interested, right? It may be something that he's already peeped. Like if women who lead with their wallet, they're easy to spot. Very, very easy to spot, especially when they have TikTok pages where they talk about how much money they make. Quick side note, if you're a man who's soon to be married and you want to make sure you protect your assets and you value starting a family, then I want to encourage you to do what Oprah Winfrey would probably do if she was getting married and protect yourself legally. And if you don't know where to start, you can head over to fathershaverights.com. We guide men with legal information, equip men with legal information to help them know the first steps to take before they hire their attorney. Guys, this is it. Of course, I'm curious to know, what do you guys think of this conversation? What advice would you give her if you were giving her advice? I'm curious. Comment down below. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.